they are doing great. They're doing what God has asked them to do. And God even tells them, you're going to have victory. And so they're doing well until they see the enemy's iron chariots. And these iron chariots were these weapon on wheels. It was a very advanced technology. And God's people were mostly on foot. And so there was like this intimidation factor, I believe. And so my question for all of us listening is, what are those iron chariots in your life? Like maybe you started out so well, what hindered you? And sometimes we get our eyes off of, the unseen to the seen. And as my husband and I are making this move to Florida, there's this area that we're sensing God is calling us to. And Stephanie, we have, humble means. We have humble means, yet this area he's calling us to is very affluent. And we feel called to this people group there. And I remember looking at how much rent cost and all the expenses. And I was just like, Lord, what on earth? Like none of this adds up on paper. And I just felt his whisper, as he often does when we are baptized in her message. And he was like, Katie, is that your iron chariot? Our finances, your iron chariot. I can do the impossible. But are you going to, we are taking a leap. There's no jobs yet. We're taking this big faith leap like Judah and Simeon were doing. We're starting off well. And then all of a sudden, here comes those iron chariots. And I just had that conviction. God's like, are you going to partially obey? Are you going to completely obey? Are you going to allow me to deliver you from this obstacle? Or are you going to shrink back? And so I just want us to think about, what are our iron chariots that get in the way, kind of the enemies to our intimacy with the Lord. And that can look a lot of different ways, because there was nothing wrong necessarily with the iron chariots. But if we are putting our trust in them to deliver us, or they're an obstacle to us experience all that God's promised. And I think that happens when we're not fixing our eyes on the author and perfecter of our faith, when we are getting swayed by just the reality of what's in front of us, instead of realizing that Jesus does not operate in that level, right? He is seated at the right hand of the Father, and he can make a way where there seems to be no way.